We're back. Even though last week's video crashed and burned like a Mustang leaving cars and coffee, I am no quitter. In today's video, we're going to talk about drive modes. I'm going to share my favorite drive modes with you. But first, we got to roll that intro.
Before you stress up the groove, the energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because I stand tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Hey, where the money at? Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get it, to split it with my kinfolk.
Okay, before we get started, let me talk about last week's video, which was about the Lamborghini and the appreciation I've experienced over the last 6 months and how it has really blown up in value. Now, I only got 1,100 views on that video, and I know why, because the vast majority of my subscribers are Mopar fanatics like myself. But I want to explain why, because some of you have said, look, we're just not going to watch those videos. And I'll tell you, when you make that decision, you're actually hurting my channel. You're slowing my growth down. I get it, that's okay. You don't want to watch that stuff, and I'm not going to force you to. It's like broccoli or Brussels sprouts. You just don't want to eat that stuff, and I get it. The problem is it's good for you when you do. And I would urge you to go ahead and explore the content, because I always share financial tips and secrets and really cool ideas and some of my experiences that could help you in other aspects of your life, just participating in other brands within our car culture. And this Lamborghini really does allow me to explore a lot of really out-of-the-box thinking and things that I've never experienced in my life, and it makes my brain grow. So to learn about other cars is a good thing. To learn about other ways of financing and purchasing and car appreciation and kind of how that world works, it just expands all of our horizons. So I would still urge you all to take a look at that content, because it is worthwhile. I believe it does help us all learn and grow. But if you don't want to watch it, that's cool. Every time I post a Lamborghini video, I do pick up a few hundred more subscribers that are looking for more diverse content. They like the Mopar and they like the Lamborghini, so that's good, and it does help my channel grow. So I have to do a little mix of videos periodically. So I hope you understand, and I hope you still watch this stuff and continue to follow. But now let's talk about what we're doing today. First, I got my Spoiler King rear window spoiler, and I'm going to install that to the back of my Charger. And also, I totally forgot I bought these, because I meant to buy 5-inch and I ended up buying 4-inch exhaust tips because I fell in love with this blue one night while messing around online. And tell me that doesn't look gorgeous. It looks great, and I think it would still look good because I saw these exact tips on a blue Charger just like mine, and it looked great. So maybe I'll throw those on when I do my mid-muffler delete or get my new exhaust, whatever's going to happen. Or I will order the bigger ones and give these away online. So continue to follow and we'll see where we go with these. But now, let's install that rear spoiler. Alright, so they have two versions of these things. One with a notch in the middle to match the rear spoiler of the Charger, and one without. I ordered the one without and then realized I probably should have ordered the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on anyways, and then if I don't like it, I'll just order the other one and give this one away. That's what we do here on this channel. That's how I waste money, and will never be wildly wealthy. Alright, so one thing about these things is they come like this, which means you got to kind of throw it out in the sun and let it get back into its normal shape. So we're going to do that now, and then wait a few minutes, and then get this thing on the car. Okay, so this installation is really easy. I've watched a lot of other YouTubers do it this exact way. Basically, first you clean the rear window really good with alcohol so there's no dust on there, so the adhesive will stick. After this thing's been in the sun a while, it's really soft. It will mold around the window really easily. And then you just take it and you kind of just toss it right where you want it. Watch. Yes! Worked perfectly. What do you guys think? Let's check it out, see how it looks. So of course I wasn't going to do an install video on something that's basically a big sticker. Pretty easy to put on, and there's tons of videos about it. But I think it looks pretty good. I'm torn though. If I should get the other one or take it off, I don't know. What do you think? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Here's side profile and kind of a close-up from behind. From this side. What do you think? Leave it on, take it off, give it away? Give me your thoughts. Nice thing about this cosmetic modification is it's easily reversible. So I'll leave it on, wait till my wife comes home and tells me the truth about it. She won't like it either way. Let me know your thoughts. Now let's talk about drive modes. All right, so before we get started, let me show you something I finally figured out after years of not being able to figure it out, and I'm admitting that publicly to all of you who probably already know this, but this little camera here in Performance Pages will take a picture of your screen if you have one of these plugged in to the USB slot in your center console. I did not know where the heck to stick that thing. I thought those plugs were for charging phones or for Apple CarPlay, but did not realize that you just plug it in there, and once it's plugged in, then all you got to do is tap that, and it will screenshot your screen on all your times, and frankly, it'll screenshot anything you have on here that you want, and it's taking a picture now, and put it on that USB drive. So, pretty cool. Glad I figured that out, and hopefully someone out there is in the same position I'm in and now knows what to do with that little camera. Okay, now let's jump into drive modes. So just tap here, and the best thing to do is to go in here and tap the I and learn about every single drive mode. So let's go to the first one. For the transmission, track means it's the fastest possible shift speeds, strongest comfort trade-off. Sport, faster shift speeds, some comfort trade-off. Street, balance of shift speed and shift comfort. For paddle shifters, it's simple on and off. I always leave them on. For traction, on track, minimal traction control, minimal stability control. Sport, reduced traction control, reduced stability control. And street, full traction control, full stability control. Whoops. Suspension, for track, it's the firmest possible suspension, strongest comfort trade-off. Sport, firmer suspension, some comfort, some trade-off. And street, balance of suspension, firmness, and ride comfort. Steering, greatest amount of steering feel, greatest amount of steering effort. Sport, greater steering feel, greater steering effort. Street, balance of steering feel and comfort. And then auto mode, it's what your car starts off in every time it starts up. So first, let's check out auto mode. So in auto mode, you're only allowed to control your paddles and your suspension and your steering. And I have it set for street for the suspension and sport for steering. But I almost always go into my custom mode that I set up. And this is the mode that I like the most. This is my favorite drive mode. So let's go back here and go into my custom drive mode. So this is my favorite setup. Transmission in sport, track's a little too hard, sport is just right. Paddle shifter's always on. Traction for street, because when I'm driving on the streets, I want to have maximum traction. You never know what water you're going to hit or anything, and I'm not out there racing people. So I want all the traction I can have. Suspension, I like the feeling of track suspension. I like this thing to ride rough. Remember, I drive a Lamborghini also, and that thing is like riding two 2x4s with skateboard wheels on it. Riding this thing even in track is still a very comfortable ride to me, and I like the feeling of it and how it handles. Now, of course, I have the wide body, so that maybe adds to it because it does end up handling really well for a humongous car in track on suspension. And in steering, I grew up with cars without power steering. It's still power, it's still easy to steer, but you get the most feel for your steering in track mode for steering. This is my favorite setup, and remember, I do have the pedal box on my car as well, and I have that set to the second setting on, I think that's City Plus or something. Anyways, so I do enjoy this setup, and you may want to try it on your car. Do I use eco mode once in a while? Longer trips, I do. Here's what someone in the comments section taught me a long time ago. If you want to jump right into your custom mode, come down here to your drive modes, tap it twice, and it'll jump right over into your custom mode the second you get in the car, so you don't have to navigate into all the windows. Alright, so I hope that answers your questions as to what drive mode I like to use the most and what they all do and mean. If you want more information, more in-depth information, I'm going to attach a great link to an awesome PDF that explains everything from launch control to all the different settings you can possibly use on this car for racing as well. So with that said, everybody, thank you so much for following my videos. Please watch them all. I appreciate your support more than you know. Stay motivated and see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Out the kitchen, yeah, I could make a hit on whatever you pitching. Baby, let me fill up whatever you missing. Or you like it up at the top, it's a better view. surprised at all. No, it ain't what you need. Come on, just pay the fee. I supply it all. Went up the mountain and it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief, you see. So please don't mess up